Hey everybody, Marcus here with the New England Bushcraft Show. For another episode of Walkabout Wednesday, I'm actually in Connecticut. I'm here with Kevin Estela. Kevin, pleasure to meet you and thanks for inviting me to Connecticut.
Likewise, Marcus, glad you're here.
Awesome. So for the Walkabout Wednesday series, what I'm doing is I'm meeting up with the people that are going to be participating in the show, the different instructors and wilderness skills experts. So maybe we could start this conversation by you telling me a little bit about what bushcraft means to you and how you got into it. What were your motivations?
Sure. Very simply put, bushcraft to me means doing more with less and utilizing resources without carrying a lot of resources with you. So being more resourceful than relying on resources. As far as what got me started, it was this place that we're in right now, which is the Barnes Nature Center right here in Bristol, Connecticut, where I grew up about 5 miles that way. This is where I first started hiking with my dad when I was about 4 or 5 years old. The first water that I ever tried boiling and treating was literally this water that we're standing on here. The first hike was on that yellow trail right over there. And, you know, hearing stories of my dad, you know, when my dad grew up in the Philippines during World War II and hiding from the Japanese, literally in a cave and living in that cave during the daytime, coming out at night. I mean, as a little kid, I mean, how much cooler could your dad be? So I never wanted to throw a football. I never wanted to, you know, watch any professional sports. I wanted to be out here. And as a kid, it was always, let's go hiking, let's go do something, Dad. My dad was awesome. To this day, he still, you know, encouraged me to do all these different adventures. And as the years went on, you know, instead of just it being like a waning interest, it's just gotten stronger and stronger. And it's turned into me teaching these skills and really sharing bushcraft and what you can learn and appreciate from nature while being outside.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so on the way down, we walked past a building. Maybe tell me about that building and
sure.
What can people find there?
Sure. So right here on the Barnes Nature Center property, this is one of the two properties that are owned and managed by the Environmental Learning Center of Connecticut. There's actually a couple smaller ones, but these are the two major properties. In that one building up front, there's a whole science center, and kids can experience what it's like to see an owl, see a red-tailed hawk. They can learn about the life cycle of birds, of reptiles. They can handle snakes with supervision. You don't want to run around with just a bunch of snakes. That's that's bad. And they can really learn from serious experts, people that truly enjoy teaching environmental skills in this beautiful facility that has the support of the state of Connecticut.
That's awesome. Great. Well, thanks, Kevin. We're going to take a little break to look at some photographs from this area. And when we come back, I'll ask Kevin to tell us a little bit more about his program that he runs. Hey everybody, Marcus here with the New England Bushcraft Show. I'm excited to tell you that Kevin is going to be providing some workshops and classes at the New England Bushcraft Show. So Kevin, with your background as a history teacher and your love of bushcraft and wilderness preparedness and survival skills, I think one of the classes you're going to be talking about is primitive projectiles.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so maybe you can tell us about that.
Absolutely. Hey guys, this is Kevin Estela. I will be presenting at the New England Bushcraft Show in April, and Marcus, who was kind enough to ask me to come out there, asked me to do a couple seminars, and I figured, well, might as well spice it up a little bit. If you know anything about me, I love bushcraft. I love the outdoors. I love training in martial arts, and something that always gets people's attention whenever I demonstrate it, whenever I do a presentation on it, are the primitive projectiles that are out there. So if you like the idea of throwing large rocks at people or things or castle walls or zombies or whatever you decide it to be, I can show you historical ways of creating staff slings, boleadoras, atlatls, bow and arrows, slingshots. The list goes on and on and on. So if you want to learn about primitive projectiles, where they've been used throughout history, how to fashion them from the resources around you, please stop by and see me at the New England Bushcraft Show in April.
Hey, that sounds really interesting. The primitive projectiles is really quite an interesting topic. I'd look forward to seeing that myself. Maybe there's some other aspects to it as well, between sort of actively hunting versus having something working for you like trapping. Is that something that you'll be able to cover as well?
Oh, you know it. I'm definitely going to cover that. It's always high interest, and I'm more than happy to show all the participants at the Bushcraft Show.
Okay, great.
Hey guys, Kevin Estela again, and if you thought primitive projectiles was going to be the only class I was going to do at New England Bushcraft, you might be wrong. Marcus asked me to do a couple. So what I'm going to present to you are the various carving techniques that are needed to create trap triggers that are highly, highly effective. You'll be able to see these same trap triggers in the pages of Recoil Off Grid this year. So learn from it, or learn from me, not it, I'm not really in it. Learn from me in person and then check it out later on in the magazines. Reinforce your learning, and you can say, hey, I know that large-headed guy that taught me how to do that. So learn how to do some primitive trap triggers, all carved from the great outdoors.
Kevin, that's really awesome. I hope everybody else is as excited as I am to participate in the show and see these classes that you're putting on. In addition to the workshops you're doing for us, you've got some other things in the pipeline. Why don't you tell us what's going on your schedule?
Sure. It's constantly busy between product testing and between travel and adventure and bushcraft and personal interests and whatnot. I will manage to get a couple courses and classes in for the general public. There is another budget bushcraft class that I'm doing. I believe Mother's Day weekend, May 11th, 12th, something around there. There's also going to be a advanced bushcraft class that's coming up for graduates of the budget bushcraft class. And in July, I just spoke to the canoe shop that I used to work for, and I'm going to run a river camping, canoeing, bushcraft weekend on the Farmington River, where we will gorge ourselves on good food, laugh at each other, tip each other over, and just have a good old-fashioned time. So that's going to be in July at some point. Other than that, I'll be at Blade Show this year, so if you guys see me walking around, feel free to grab me, just gently, because I might hit you. I'll be at the Caffaro Rendezvous out in Colorado, and who knows where else you're gonna spot me. So just look for the giant forehead.
Yeah. So we'll look forward to seeing that giant forehead at the New England Bushcraft Show, April 28th, and we hope that you can join us.
Awesome. We'll see you guys there.
See you there.